and I think this is well documented, historically, the vice president, in terms of the election, does not have any impact. I mean, virtually no impact. You have 2 or 3 days where there's a lot of commotion as to who, like you're having it on the Democrat side, who it's going to be. And then that dies down, and it's all about the presidential pick. Virtually never has it mattered. Maybe Lyndon Johnson mattered for different reasons than what we're talking about, not for vote reasons, but for political reasons, other political reasons. But historically, the choice of a vice president makes no difference. You're voting for the president, and you can have a vice president who's outstanding in every way, and I think JD is. I think that all of them would have been, but you're not voting that way. You're voting for the president. You're voting for me. If you like me, I'm going to win. If you don't like me, I'm not going to win.
I'm going to get my JD Vance question in.
So President Trump is saying that the vice president doesn't matter, which is interesting. You know, a lot of people have thought that in the past. Some people haven't thought that. A lot of people wonder, well, how impactful is the vice president? Some people just think there's just a plan B in case something happens to plan A, which would be the president. I always thought that the vice president is given a specific job to run certain things, but we do know that they matter to some degree, right? Because the vice president is the chairman of the Senate. And so if the Senate has a tie in votes, the vice president has to come in and break that tie. So they definitely matter. So I'm a little concerned why he would say that, because their opinion, their way of thinking and all that is going to weigh in on how they're going to break the tie, as well as the votes, and as well as that person can represent the president well. So, I mean, I know the president said that, but I'm a little concerned that he thinks that way, because the vice president definitely matters, because it's a reflection of him as well as his ideology on some things. And that may be somebody who needs to carry the torch if he can't go on. So I don't really know about that, but, you know, let's get back into this a little more.
JD Vance.
I'm going to get my JD Vance question in. To your point and to Rachel's point, he, you know, has a lot of opinions about childless women like myself or divorced people like yourself. Do you think, well, I mean,
was that a shot? I don't know if that was a shot. I just think that's just how it came off.
My point
but at
is
least
here.
It was said in a friendly manner.
My point is, do you think the Republican Party is getting a little bit too judgy about people's lives when you think about abortion or when you think about what JD Vance is saying?
I don't think, look, I think that the Democrat Party is really the one that has the problem. I think they're radical on abortion because they're allowing abortion in the 9th month. They're allowing the death.
I think it's
they're
about
allowing
freedom,
the
right?
death of a baby after the baby is born, based on
that
governor
is illegal
of Virginia.
in every state in the country.
Based on the governor of Virginia,
Executing a
they're
baby
allowing
in
the
every
death
state
of
in
the
the country
baby
is illegal.
after it's born. They're
It's a crime.
allowing abortions in the 8th and 9th month.
Well, Democrats
Did he really want to step into an abortion debate with 3 women on the stage? I don't know if I would have done that.
denied.
I think they're right. And I think the Republican Party is actually much less. I think I've made them much less radical, perhaps, but the Republican Party, what we're doing is bringing it back to the states where everybody wanted it. Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservative, everybody wanted abortion brought back. They didn't want Roe v. Wade in the federal government. They wanted it, everybody.
But the
wanted
majority
it
of
back.
Americans oppose
Excuse
Roe
me.
v. Wade being
They
overturned.
don't
Multiple
know
polls have showed
about
that,
this.
sir.
Right now, they're voting. It brought it back to the states. Now, I happen to believe in the 3 exceptions. Ronald Reagan believed with rape, incest, life of the mother. I do. I think most people do. I think most Republicans do also. But if you take a look, right now they're doing, it's an amazing thing. Out of the federal government, it's in states, and people are voting. And I will say, Ohio is, let's call it a more liberal version, has been approved. Kansas, the same thing, a little bit surprising to a lot of people. But the people are now voting, and it's taking this issue that's been going on for 52 years and has torn our country apart, and it's giving it to the people to vote on, and they're voting. And many states have already voted. Others are in the process of voting, and it's bringing it back to the people and a vote of the people. And it's not at all radical. And again, you have to follow your heart. I happen to believe in the 3 exceptions. Most people believe in the 3 exceptions. Most Republicans believe in the exceptions. but they don't want to see an abortion in the 9th month or the 8th month. Almost everybody agrees to that. And they certainly don't want to see, in the case of the governor of Virginia, the former governor.
All right, let me stop him right there, because at the end of the day, I don't want to see him get into no debate with women about what to do with their bodies. You know, at the end of the day, regardless of how we feel and what we feel, I got my own personal opinions on that. But you're never going to really win a good debate as one man by himself talking to 3 women about trying to tell them what they could and should do with their body. You know, it's a very complicated issue. But anyway, leave in the comments and tell me what you think. Does the vice president matter? Maybe it does, maybe it don't. Maybe it's just an ornament on the tree. Maybe it's like a piece of jewelry to a presidential campaign. Tell me what you think. Anyway, until next time, stay unlikely and be unstoppable. All right.